Welcome back to another Ratface 44 reviews. My name is James, and today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series Edward Torpedo Lealoha. So let's get this started! So before we open it up, we're going to take a look at the packaging and the artwork. Again, I really love the design of the packaging. It is on point, except for the no window. Hopefully they will. Hasbro is gonna change the packaging, of course, and we all know. So let's take a look at the artwork on the front here. As you can see, there's some tube snakes from the cartoon when they're trying to get the heavy water, I believe. Great depiction of Torpedo right here. He is on the submarine. There's a really nice digital render of the figure. Awesome. And you got a little bit of artwork here. Really nice. And all the accessories. G.I. Joe on the top. There's the same artwork on the side. Number 73. And here is a Torpedo here. He's around 6 inches tall. And all the accessories he comes with. Got the picture of his chest here and his hand. Just like all the other classifieds right now, they have these zoom in shots. Boring legalese on the bottom. You got the specs. You scan the QR code. So that's it with the packaging. And I got my trusty scalpel. We are gonna open this guy up and take a look. I'm expecting this figure to be really good. My expectations are really high for this figure. And we'll have a vintage comparison at the end of this video, so stay tuned, guys. So we'll take out the boxes. There's the figure and the accessories, and he has his name Torpedo on the box. Of course, we got the nice little wrapping. Let's open it up. So we have this tiny little magazine, nice little detail on it. We have this little blaster. And of course, you could put the magazine in the gun like that. Sweet. And we have this spear gun with a little bit of paint detail on it. It has a nice silver spear in the spear gun. Check that out. And we got a nice yellow kind of strap for divers so they could see it when they're diving in pitch darkness. I am assuming nothing else is articulated in here. Very cool. Kind of simplistic, but it does the job. He came with a spear with the vintage. And next we have his breather, diving breather. Really cool. I'm assuming what he has here is a rebreather. I don't see any, because I don't see any tanks, but as you can see on the mask, it's a little bit tinted with the whitish green and red. Check that out. That's pretty cool. It's gonna look great. And also we have this little knife with the red handle. Again, like, I'm assuming that the reason why there's brighter colors, maybe it should have been a little brighter, but I'm not a diver, so I can't say. Looks pretty cool. A little bit of like a ridge here, probably to cut cords, ropes. Very cool. A little bit of ridging on the handle. So next we have these fin flipper things. Really cool. Has a nice little red detail on the top of the fin. Some kind of veins going through. They kind of look like butterfly wings. And that's my first impression. Like always in these videos, they're always my first impression. There is a peg hole. Looks like there's like a hole in the where the feet go. So you can actually peg it onto a stand. It's very courteous of Hasbro to do that. And they're made of this soft, malleable plastic, like you would be kicking the water And last but not least, it is type of I'm guessing it's some sort of bladder, because when divers, like with my understanding with divers, that they need to be buoyant, you know, and inflate the bladder, lower it so they can dive deeper into water and stay at a, you know, at a steady depth, I should say. So it's a pretty simple thing that I can see right now. There are like this kind of teeth clip at the top, kind of looks like a bag, and on the side you can see some detail, some technical detail. I'm guessing this is his breather, his rebreather that's on the end, and this is the bladder. Really cool, nice little detail. So on the inside of the package you have a nice black and white rendition of Torpedo. And let's take a look at the figure. So far, looks pretty freaking cool, man. Check that out. Take a closer look at his face. So we're going to take a look overall on the style and aesthetic of this figure. So as we go from top to bottom to this figure, as you can see, he has this type of black diving suit, overall diving suit, gray and black. He has this hovering type of web gear strap on his shoulders that go around his back. He has a knife sheath, and on the other side he has some sort of pouch on his leg, this holster pouch type thing. And as you go down the legs, you have some gray boots. So overall, when I'm looking at it right now, it's a very thin figure, of course. He is a diver. I'm guessing, you know, he has a swimming body, as they say. So let's check out his tightness test. So he's a little wiggly in the ab crunch. You know, I find that thinner action figures tend to be a little bit, as you can say, bendy. His knees are a little bendy. It's the type of plastic they're using. But overall, yeah, he looks like a diver. Really freaking cool. Torpedo looks really cool, and I can't wait to gear this guy up. So let's go over the paint. He has this red on his shoulder. Not exactly sure what that is. Take a closer look. Notice that he has like a sort of a communicator on his wrist, and he has this belt that's kind of attached to his torso. So let's go over some of the articulation. Of course, he has ball joints, neck and head. Gets lots of rotation, movement out of that. Butterfly joints, double jointed elbows, and it is a little loose. One's loose, one's tight. You know, you got swivel at the wrist, of course, up and down at the wrist. Got some ab crunches going on here. There's no hindrance at all. You know, he's wearing a bodysuit, right? So, or a diver suit, I should say. Double jointed knees, a little tight. But overall, at this point, as I move around, the quality definitely is better than the last wave, which I really, really appreciate. I was a little bit worried about how thin this character was and if it was going to hold up, you know, since the quality has been not too great. But this wave definitely has improved, as I said in my latest video. You could check that out. Let's gear him up. So I'm going to start off by putting his bladder rebreather on his back. I'm just going to call it a backpack for now, but I know it's way more to it than just a regular old backpack. You know, this thing is keeping him alive. Alright, let's put his mask on. Diving mask, and then, which is really cool. It just kind of pegs in the side, as I can see. Really cool. It's Scuba Steve. So I'm not sure which way, left or right. I think there's letters on here. This one says right as an R. Let me turn him around. Put the right foot in the right fin. That's the way to do it. Let's put his knife in the sheath. I kind of wish this blaster kind of pegged on the side of his rebreather, like on the back or something, because I don't know if I'm going to be using this. If he's diving, he's not going to be using that weapon. He's going to be using the spear. But why would he be shooting bullets underwater, right? So it's kind of a useless accessory, you know. Here I'm complaining about extra stuff you get with the figure, but you know, out of water, I guess you can shoot it, but I'm gonna have him all geared up. That's how I'm gonna display him. He's Torpedo. He's gonna be diving underwater. There you have it. Torpedo all geared up, ready to go diving, ready to go get some heavy water with the Joes. There's one thing I've started to really notice, that his legs are kind of bowed a bit. That's you know, maybe I just need to readjust, but as you can see, it's a little bendy in the legs, so he's kind of bowed out. Hopefully it doesn't get worse over time, because I've noticed some of the Hasbro plastic starting to give over time. But overall right now, it's Torpedo. Everybody needs a Torpedo in their collection of classified figures, 100%. I had to have him in my vintage. So there's a segue right now. So let's do a vintage comparison. Unfortunately, I don't have any of his accessories. They're really hard to find. So here we have it. There is the vintage Torpedo. It's the best version I have. It's I find it's kind of the most difficult one to find in good condition. You know, lots of kids played this in the water, so you know, obviously my screws are a little rusty from being in the water. It's just understandable. But as you can see, it's the exact same color scheme. Very cool, nice homage. That word comes up every time I look at classifieds and compare it to vintage. But you can tell there's a lot more detail definitely in the classified. So that's kind of the thing, right? Classified equals more detail and a larger scale. Of course, the more I look at Torpedo right now, my first impression gets better and better. Well, let's do a comparison with old Duke here, all Valaversed up, to have a scale comparison. Like, I'll take him off his stand. You can see the size. So here's a comparison with Scrap Iron, my previous video. Check it out. Really awesome figure, awesome accessories. Mortal enemies to the death right here. And here's a comparison with the Crimson Bat with the Arctic Bat's head. I'm going to keep that. That is amazing. Love that. Looks perfect. And here's a comparison with Steel Brigade from Valaverse. Amazing figure. These guys look cool together with their crazy masks. So there you have it, guys. There's my review and unboxing of Torpedo and vintage comparison. Next we'll have Shipwreck, so stay tuned. So Yojo and Cobra!